Jose Santiago's house from the villa. His mom used to let us stay the night on weekdays, on Tuesday nights and Thursday on school nights and shit like crazy ill shit. You know what I'm saying? And just getting accustomed to different coaches and learning different language. You're just getting around different people who had the same interests. Just want to raise their children without going through bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And having been active. So that was a beautiful thing. And then coming to find out all of the damn near every neighborhood, everybody had a cousin in every neighborhood. So we was all like the South End is not. It's kind of it's unique in its own way, but it's similar to the other parts of the city, the Dorchesters and your Roxbury's. But South End is very unique in its own way because, like I said, just the bond that everybody had growing up. Like everybody knows everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't, no, everybody knew everybody, because it was my fault, go ahead.
No, you could go ahead. No, but what
I
was about to say, I like that you hit on the fact on how baseball communities close. And gave us passes to even because like you said, like you're talking about the villa. That's probably like 2 or 3, like 5 minutes down Lenox Cathedral.
Right across the street.
Right. So walk into Peters Park, you're going to other people's neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? So you have that other cats wasn't able to do that.
It's absolutely true. This is what I'm saying. That was one of the benefits of playing baseball, and guys seeing you with your uniform on, that a little nigga, not a little nigga no mind. He's going ahead about his business, and that gave you the opportunity to observe, to go through different neighborhoods and different territories and see different things that you probably wouldn't have been able to see if you wasn't, indulging in that type of lifestyle, or playing baseball rather.
Right.
But yeah. So, but besides that, the last thing is because it'll take you from South End literally could take you from your last year in elementary to your last year in middle school. Right. So that bond, that 4-year span, that bond, that the people who you meet, it has an effect on what school you go to, because a lot of the time, a lot of the school you was going to, a lot of kids you played South End literally was going to the same school you went to. Right. You know what I mean? So that created more like a protection mechanism for you if you didn't know anybody. You know what I'm saying? If you was in school by yourself, things of that nature. So it was man. It was a lot of benefits from playing baseball, man. It was a beautiful thing.
No, that's dope. Jay, I want you to tap in and how you got into because me growing up like. I couldn't do football. But we'll get into that story. But how'd you get into football?
Yeah, this is the passion. This is my heart was always at. Shit, I have a picture, man. I have a picture. I posted on Instagram. My father, when I was like 5, I had this outfit my mom brought me. It was basically a knockoff football uniform, but I never took the shit off. I wore this shit all the time, like shit for until I grew out of it. And then simultaneously, my aunt brought me a pair of cleats. My aunt Pat, she brought me a pair of cleats from Morgie's for $4. Pair of Nike cleats, I never forget. And those never came off until I literally, the rubber on the bottom, you know what I'm saying, was disappeared. You know what I'm saying? So. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just since I've been able to be active, that's all I wanted to do. And but how did I knew instinctively that I had to learn about it first to become. I knew that, but to become great at anything, you got to learn about it.
Right.
And I was blessed. Me and David, we was blessed to have an uncle, my Uncle Michael Hicks, man, rest in peace, Cookie. May blessings be upon him. He was he played football in high school and things of that nature. He was actually very good, one of the greatest in the city. And I used to hear stories about him growing up, things of that nature. And he used to live with us for a small periodical time for us growing up. And on Monday night football used to come on at 9 o'clock. And this is right before David was born, right when he was born. And that was bedtime at that time for me. So that's 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I would play it. Yeah, you already know I'm going with it. I would play it off like I was sleeping until my mom's, until she was off to bed. And my uncle was a straight G because I wouldn't come out into the living room and watch it with him. I was sitting in the hallway. This is very important what I'm about to say. I was sitting in our hallway inside the apartment hallway, which was which divided the living room from our rooms where we sleep at. I sat and I listened. I listened to the game, and he never told me to get your ass up and go in the room. Like he knew I was in the hallway listening. He knew that was the respect I gave him. Like I ain't gonna come out here and like let you know I'm up. Disobeying my mom, but I love this shit like you love this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and he allowed me to sit in the hallway and listen to and listen to Al Michaels and things of that nature and soaking the game up from a perspective of listening. It did so much for everything else. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't focus. I would have to picture what the commentators would talk about, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So you're not even just listening.
I wasn't even listening. I would have to listen to the game.
That's crazy.
Because I would be in the hallway. And like I said, what that would do, that would fuel my imagination and build and just build my confidence, knowing that if I can learn the game and listen to it and still have that passion for it, you know what I'm saying? And still want it. This is what I could. I don't care. I don't have to watch. I could turn my radio on and listen. That's something that you want to push yourself towards.
Right.
And then I'm listening to grown man dialect. They talking about fucking route running and thrown into double coverage and shit like that. So it's just like my conversation at that time as a child. I would it was very unique. So and I would, like I said, I would apply that to my life. So I'm in our parking lot without a football with a glove on because I couldn't. I have a football, but I found the somebody's batting glove, so I have my batting glove on, running routes in the parking lot in between cars. You know what I'm saying? Mastering the art of route running. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that I'm going to get my knees scraped up and my ankles going to get scraped up from the back ends of the car. The middle. Shit was crazy. You know what I'm talking about. You know I'm going with it. So, but that also developed a discipline on how to stay in line and stay on course and just, listen, man, I could listen that because that all was around the same time. This was all around the same time, me listening and learning how to run routes and you know what I mean? And this is the last thing. I would put on cap everything in the sports page from the Herald. So everything from hockey, baseball to basketball, all the statistics. So who the RBIs, saves, who led the league in goals, secondhand assists, interceptions, sacks. You know what I'm saying? Batting averages. You know what I'm saying? That was my passion on always having. I always had to know the stats on the statistics of things because it made things clearer for me. It made things more obvious as far as how I can speak upon it.
Right.
How I can bring it into, when I speak it, you can know I'm not lying because I did my research. So, yeah, man.
No, it's funny that you said that. I remember years ago. It was a while ago. Having a conversation talking about Robinson Cano.
Oh yeah, I knew you was going to bring this up. And
this was before Robinson Cano became before he got some big money.
Yes, sir.
From Seattle. Before he won the World Series.
Yes, sir.
Telling me like, yo, I've been watching this guy. This guy's nice. Man. I'm telling you right now. And I'm like, I don't even. I don't. We had A-Rod, Derek Jeter,
right?
Playoff. That's when A-Rod was slipping, and that's what telling me. This cat step up. That man, he stepped up. Did his thing.
Yeah, nah, definitely, bro. I appreciate you for bringing that up. But I know how passionate you are about baseball, so it was just like, yo, I seen it. No funny shit. I seen some similences in y'all game. You know, so y'all mannerisms, how y'all carry yourself, things of that nature. So when I brought that to your attention, it was just like, yo, I want you to keep your eye on this dude. This dude, you know what I'm saying? This dude's really, I'm seeing things from him that remind me of greatness. You know what I mean? Like, Kenny Lofton and what's my guy from Cincinnati?
Barry Larkins.
Barry Larkin. You know what I mean? He had a little bit. He reminded me of Barry Larkin as well. You know what I'm saying? Party Self, and I remember that great name. But yeah. So just I had to give you that information. But just going on what I was seeing. I trusted what I was seeing. I was looking at the stats. I'm like, yeah, this is adding up to be something great right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Wow. So once you get the chance to play, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball, who were the players that looked up to you wanted your game after? After now that we know that you were a savant, you were listening, talking about knowledge about each sport. Who were the players that once you got on the field, like, I'm about to show y'all what it is?
Shit, man. Yo, rest in peace, rest in peace, man. I got my motherfucking legend, man. You know what I'm saying? This man right here is very influential in my life, man. You know what I'm saying? His name is Jerome Brown. He went to the University of Miami. He was a two-time champion at the University of Miami. Got drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles. He died in a car crash that to this day I still feel it is questionable, because he had his 11-year-old nephew in the passenger side with him, who also lost his life. And he was extremely controversial, but that he approached the game with so much confidence. You just gravitated toward him, and that's just how you wanted to play. You want to play. You want to be the leader, and you want to set the tone. And that's what Jerome Brown did, man. He changed my life. Watching that man changed my life, man. Him, the marvelous Marvin. What's the part of, he's the quarterback that right before McNabb at Syracuse. Marvelous Marvin Graves, part of self. Marvelous Marvin Graves. Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward's the greatest college football player to ever play the game. He would have been one of the greatest quarterbacks, but they wasn't trying to let brothers in the league at that time to play that position. Deion Sanders, Jerry Rice, Rod Woodson.
Name some greats.
Yeah, shit. I can't forget my guy's name. Party Self. My guy from Texas Tech. Shit. Man, Marcus Coleman, the great cornerback for the Jets out of Texas Tech University. Shit, I could go on for days, man. But those particular individuals right there, I took a little bit. Part of self, the whole Saints defense in like the early '90s. Pat Jackson, rest in peace, Sam Mills Sr. Ricky Irvin. No. What's his name? Ricky. Part of self, Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling. Part of self, Ricky Jackson, Pat Swilling, Sam Mills. You know what I'm saying? Those guys right there. Seriousness. You know what I'm saying?
Lit. That's dope, man. So a lot of folks don't know why that list of players are important. And here's why I'm gonna get into it. And this is what I want you to touch on. We talk about it all the time. The importance of young athletes to play multiple sports all year round. He plays, basketball, baseball. We played all three: baseball, basketball, sometimes track. Tell us why you gravitated to those sports and multiple sports at the same time all year round. How important that is for young athletes today.
Oh yes, definitely. the baseball players who I was gravitated towards, Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson did both, the whole Braves pitching staff, Smoltz, Glavine, those guys were special. Playing little league, so anything dealing with the Yankees, because that was my team. So Paul O'Neill, Roberto Kelly, all the great Yankees. You know what I'm saying? During that time, Don Mattingly. Of course, Barry Bonds, Bobby Bonilla. The brothers. Brothers was been doing it big during that time too. Basketball players. Robert Pack, you know what I'm saying? Rob Pack. I'm just gonna shout out some brothers who don't be getting no love. Rob Pack. The big dog, Glenn Robinson. Who was very interesting?
Glenn Robinson, big dog.
Yeah, Glenn Robinson was, man. Come on, Big Dog was very influential in a lot of our upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Camby. You know what I'm saying? The whole little UMass, Lou Road, that 95 UMass team. Travieso, Carmelo Travieso, Edgar Padilla. You know what I'm saying? Those guys were man. We looked up to those guys. I looked up to some local guys too, man. That Monty Mack, my brother James. My big homie BJ. You know what I'm saying? With the Florida A&M. You know what I'm saying? We got some big homie Black Al from the neighborhood, Scat, Puerto Rican Joe, rest in peace. We got some ballers, man. Q, JJ, Wawa, Breeze. We got some great ballers, man. But to go back to the initial question, pardon for going on a tangent, but to answer the initial question, the importance of playing, it just keeps you active. When you're active, and you're constructive, you're indulging, you're staying consistent with constructive behavior. The likelihood of you going, getting caught up in some mischief is just a low percentage. So I used to just follow my brother James, my older brother James. He just stayed in golf and sports. That sports was his life, So, and he knew how to basically to put himself in certain positions where he would excel. He knew how to plan, to look at things before it happened and be like, yeah, I'm gonna sign up for this thing before, a couple of months in advance, and just the people who he hung around, he knew how to associate with the right people, to network and things of that nature from a young age. So that's extremely important, because like I said, similar to with baseball, how I was breaking up with South End with the Little League, when we indulge in different other sports, because we was swimming at the Blackstone. We was we swam for the Blackstone Sharks, and we was at swimming meetings at the Hennigan and everywhere. So we was constantly we played lacrosse, we played hockey. Shit, we did a commercial with Anson Carter, who played for the Bruins. We met Ray Bork and all types of shit. Like, we just constantly, like, the brothers I grew up with, Matt Jackson, Demetrius Jackson, Pooch, you know what I'm saying? Terry, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? Cousin Courtney, Lionel, rest in peace, Lionel. A lot of we stayed in a situation where we're going to put ourselves in. We knew to put ourselves in a position where we're going to be doing something active and constructive, because we knew if we wasn't, we was going to be out here, and we knew what that was going to lead to.
Right.
So we knew that at a young age, just to get up and get out,
And that's something that me personally, because our brother, and that's something that I always see. That's why the generation behind me, the Romy, David, we try to emulate that two guys at. We seen what's out there. So us, me personally, that's why I stayed involved in baseball, whether it's during the season, I was playing in three different teams, So just to stay away, you know how the summers is. Let me play on just to not be in London, and just to other parts of Boston, we haven't never had the chance to see on the like us traveling to or out of town or whatever. You're not going to see that in Lenox. So why not just do sport?
Right.
That's something that got from you guys. That's something that I definitely you guys for
that's a tradition, because I got, like I said, I got that from the generation before me, and the generation got that from the generation. We have a lot of tradition in this neighborhood, man. It's a beautiful. It's a gift and a curse, just like everything. If you could look at everything, is a positive, pros and cons, everything. But it was the structure that we had out here as far as like implementing lifestyle ways of becoming your own thinker and not being a follower. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? You see what I'm going with? And just learning how to branch out. And we was lucky too, because of geographically where we were located at. Everything was just in walking distance, so we can get to certain places and get to transportation to take us to the Goonies or to the suburbs and things of that nature. So it was just like I said, it's just tradition, bro. I'm humbled that I was able to to give you my service, brother.
No, definitely. But who were some coaches that helped you develop? Whether it was baseball, basketball, football.
Definitely. We're sticking that man with baseball. I didn't really gravitate towards coaching that well at that time, just because at that at the particular age, listening wasn't really as far as to instruction. It's like listening to I know what the hell I'm doing. Like, you don't really want to admit that you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of like want to put out that perception that you already know. You know what I'm saying? How to go about handling your business. But I was better. I was an observer. I was better on. I can observe. Certain people have different ways of learning. My best way of learning is observing first, and then, you know what I'm saying, actually translating that action. So we had greats in the neighborhood. We had a brother named Janito. He's actually a Boston police officer. I forgot his last name. He grew. He's one of my brothers ever. He actually got drafted out of high school at Brighton High to the Milwaukee Brewers in 1995. He went to my sister. Him and my sister, they was in the same as my sister Nicole. They was in the same graduate class rather, coming out of Brighton High, and he went to AA, and the group that he played with out here, these guys were serious, and their father, they live right on Lenox, bro. You know what I'm talking about? Right on Lenox on the first floor. On the first floor, right on like the second building. The mother name is shit. What the hell is mom's name? Gina. Okay. I'm talking. P know what I'm talking about.
You talking about in Alex's old building?
Right on the first floor.
Right. Yep.
Not a car. Right. Who's built? Damn. Whatever, man. The pops. Janito's pops. He's our teacher. He's the neighborhood teacher. He's the baseball whisperer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's
the baseball whisperer.
Yeah. Where he's going? He's the guy who was like on some real shit. Like, he was like, by not verbally giving us the instructions, but just by his actions, like really showing us how to play the game and really take it serious. But as far as basketball, I had multiple different big homies and older guys from the neighborhood and old family members. Shit. Well, I started my brother James. Got a guy from the neighborhood named Rick. Older guy named Rick.
Mm.
Used to always be in Derby Park. Older brother, man, with the braids, man. You know what I'm saying? I forgot his last name.
Rick, my guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't. We can't go no further.
Rick come down on his bike. Put 20 on you.
Yeah.
It's mid-range. No threes.
Facts. Factory. It don't matter who you was and what your skill set was. Yeah, that man right there, he helped me really understand the art of shooting and just taking basketball serious from a perspective from the perimeter, and not just trying to want to always just drive and use my ability to dribble and all that to get to the hoop. And like I said, all the older guys that I named before, you know, Wawa, Quam, Breeze, Buddha, JJ, KJ, those guys, they're the older guys. Because they used to always be in basketball leagues, representing the neighborhood and all that. We had the privilege to go with them and things of that nature and watch them perform. And the teamwork, how they used to, they had my James was invited to one of the teams one time to play in one of the games, and they used to bring us to the practices and how they used to practice and display teamwork and show unity. And there was no grown-ups around. These were young 14, 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds practicing as if there was a grown fucking man there, like, you know what I'm saying, giving them instructions and they shooting free throws and clapping after each free throw. You know what I mean? Like this ill shit. Like I'm sitting there, and I'm like 5, 6 years old, sitting there, and I'm like, yo, what the, like, yo, this shit was ill. So, you know, or just rather just marvel, just in awe on how, you know, brothers are so organized but so young, you know.
That's dope.
Can't go, yeah. So yeah, those guys definitely played a major, especially Wawa Bell, man. That's my big brother, man. He made me really start focusing on playing defense and taking defense seriously. You know what I'm saying? Because I
share with us. So you're observing, getting soaking up all this knowledge and all these traits. Share with everyone the innovative ways that you were trained. Because a lot of times you have money for camps, like specialization. So share with the world the different ways you go about training yourself and getting yourself ready and prepared to play.
Okay, as far as we'll start with football. I always had a great mind as far as to see things from a perspective that can get results. So I started creating my own plays. You know, as I started I wanted to play Pop Warner. I wanted to play Pop Warner. I never got a chance to play Pop Warner, but I always tried out and things of that nature. I was always, you know, but to my mind, I was the best player on the field, regardless of where I was at. So, but I would the things that I would implement certain things that we would take from the training, from the Pop Warner tryouts, and then bring it back to the neighborhood. And I would create my own plays. And unfortunately, like, you know, it was a crime-ridden neighborhood, so there was always yellow tape from different types of violent acts. So we would take that yellow tape and you utilize the yellow tape for flags, because, you know what I'm saying, it was a flag football league that we was about to get into at OP that upcoming fall. So we would utilize the yellow tape for flags, and we would go out to Derby Park and daily master these plays that I would write, that I would script, to the point that when we got and played all the other housing developments in OP, each score would be 56 to 7, 73 to 7. You know, I'm not lying to you. I'm really being honest with you, bro. It was really no contest. You know what I'm saying? It was really no contest. You know what I'm saying? And you can ask Pooch, we can ask Matt, we can ask Demetrius, we can ask all the brothers who participated. Like, you know, we when we came to playing football, we was moving like a serious college program. Like, we was very dedicated. And just, you know, Lionel was with us. Rest in peace to the brother Lionel as well. Akeem, my brother Akeem. You know what I'm saying? It was we was some dedicated individuals to as far as just executing the play and just sticking to our script and sticking to who we were. As far as basketball, growing up with our brother James Six was a very dedicated person when it came to developing his craft and developing his skill. And he would bring me on Saturday and Sunday mornings to Carter Park with him, and he would dribble around the whole park with his right hand behind his back and with the left hand. You know what I'm saying? And no, at first on first instance, it's like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what? Why am I even out here? Why am I even? I mean, whatever. But as you know, as gradually as I got older, I start to see him fucking shitting on grown men. And you know what I mean? 13, 12-year-old fat kid pissing on grown men. Kid, you know, they couldn't understand how this fat kid is just getting by him with his dribble and shooting over, you know what I mean? Just you know, just so now I said, okay, yeah, I gotta start doing everything that he was doing, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I started to do. And then I got injured one year. I fell off a roof one year, but right before my freshman year of high school.
That's crazy. I was gonna get to that story. Go ahead.
Yeah, this was a gift and a curse too, because I had a cast on for about eight or 9 weeks, and after the cast, I had a soft cast on for 6 weeks after that. So for damn near half that year, I couldn't do nothing. But I was still participating in sports. I would play football. I would play basketball and all that shit. Once the cast got sawed off, I was able to play football, and I was still playing football like on the street level, like pickup games and shit. But for basketball, that helped me develop my left hand, because I was already, you know, I had a left hand, but then like I learned how to shoot, I learned how to write, like I learned how to do I became ambidextrous after that incident. So yes sir. So that kind of it was a curse, because I never got a chance to make my debut. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because this is real shit. Because this is like 5-6 days before my first day of high school. So you know what I mean? So I never really got that. You know, everything was lined up for me too. So because you know my brother James, he was always there. He was already at West Roxbury High. He was already established. Playing basketball, things of that nature. So whatever. So yeah, he was a major influence on just being dedicated to working out daily and working on the things that you're not good at, working on the things that you know that you need work on, and putting the emphasis on that. You know what I'm saying? So my brother, man, that's for basketball. As far as for football, I just took bits and pieces from all the older guys who would give me their experiences. As far as, you know, how they, you know, because there's a lot, like I said, my Uncle Mike, he played for Brighton High. I heard he could have went to Boston University, offered him a scholarship, but he got into some situations and ended up going into the Army. But yeah, I took bits and pieces for all the guys who came, you know, generations before me, and I would soak in the things that the things that worked for them. I would soak that in. And the things that didn't work for them, I would kind of just leave that out. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I see fit that can work for me, for me and my development, I wouldn't even acknowledge it. I'll just ignore it, you know? So that's basically it, man. Just, you know, not, you know, just because there's so many people, you know, there's so many people we'll be here for another hour.
Yeah, no doubt.
You
know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it a buck.
That's dope. One thing I didn't know.
Hold on. My fault. I can't forget June. My fault. June. Party so yeah, June. My man Nate. I ain't forget my man Nate. Yeah, his step pops June, man. June Doe, man. He's a major influence in my life. He's a major influence in helping me develop into becoming a man. Developing my basketball skill, just everything in life, man. June Doe, man. I love that dude, man. Peace to my brother June, man. You know?
Shout out June. He was a guy that he was coaching coaching the Army. RBI Red Sox back. So those are two cats that I grew up watching. You and I grew up watching Corey. Corey was playing football, and he was nice in basketball. He was fast as fuck. When he came up from he was just fast as fuck.
Right.
He was just fastest guy. I thought I was fast. He had some wheels on it.
Yeah, nah, Corey's the shit, man. Peace to my brother Corey Doe, man. That was Corey came up with. I was gonna definitely mention him, man, without question, because we with Charlestown, we played football and all that. But when he came up, when he moved up here from South Carolina, he brought like you said, that rare athleticism that that we don't really see here on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? That's rare. That's rare to us to have that type of package that he had with the strength, speed, and athleticism. You know what I'm saying? Size, strength, and speed, rather. Yeah, Corey was phenomenal, man, when it came to just making it happen right on the spot, whatever it was, man. He was the dude, man. So I can always rely on Corey to bring the ball up when it came to playing basketball. I can always rely on him to catch to make he had great hands, great route running. Hell of a baseball player, you know what I'm saying? The shit, Corey was on some Bo Jackson shit, you know what I'm saying? Corey was on some Bo Jackson shit, man.
But yeah, like I was saying, I didn't know that you play because the reason why I say that I watched you on field. It was like natural. Like you've been doing it. Playing organized football since because I played 3 or 4 games. Then because I got too cold. Like, you know what, man? This is not my sport. It's cold out here. Charlestown and get a little cold out there.
I was there. I was there, bro. I was.
Listen, that was the only reason why I played football. Because you was like, yo, P, man. You play on the team, nice. It's down the third. I was like,
word.
I was play. I got on the team. Was on the team squad. Brigade man got too close, bro.
Yeah, man.
That Charlestown team. I'm not gonna lie. That Charlestown team. Bucky. I thought Bucky should have been a QB. You had Corey on one side. You had Romy as a tight end.
Romy,
dangerous.
Yeah. Before we tap into that.
All right.
But yeah, JR, man, like I said, it was a beautiful story, man. Letting people know how playing sports in the neighborhood helped you, get to, where you at in life, man. But I want to get into this question. How was your love for sports benefited you?
In multiple different layers. Sports, just it helps defy integrity, and it's showing that if how you practice, how you prepare yourself, that's going to be ultimately the telltale sign of your results. That's going to be, you know what I mean? That's going to be your outcome, how your preparation is. So, just understanding that aspect and knowing that, how, every time that, I excelled in whatever sport I played, it was due to how I practiced and how I prepared myself mentally and how I applied that to other facets of life. that's a jewel one of its own that I can, it's just, if it wasn't for sports, if it wasn't for being on teams and having teammates and just having that desire as a collective for the same for the same cause, man, just putting whatever everybody putting the differences to the side or wherever, the egos and things of that nature for this one common goal. That's something that we can all learn from and apply that to our lives. You know what I'm saying? Especially in these days and times, what's going on now.
Right.
Facts. So we're not going to keep you too much longer, but I definitely want everyone to. We definitely got to get into this story. So walk us through the creation of this super team and how the migration to Charlestown High School football started. Tell us about why, how, and who.
All right. First of all, the first name we gotta throw out there is Matthew Jackson. We know him as Jung. We know as Jung. Peace to my brother. Good dude. Take care of his business. But that wise young man right there. He's wise beyond his years because he had a vision. He's seen something. And brought it and manifested and brought it to reality. Something that was, this is the power that we possess. We possess to turn something into nothing, because at this particular time, 2000, I was 18 years old. I was in and out of high school. I had dropped out of West Roxbury for a couple of years prior to that. I was getting myself into all types of things that was going to hinder my future as far as how I was moving, things of that nature. So as I start to settle down and start to put things back into perspective, I had a beautiful opportunity presented itself. Matthew and Nathan, they was attending. My guy Nate Jackson, Corey's stepbrother, they was attending Charlestown at the time. And Matthew came into the knowledge that if you excel at a particular sport, they're gonna get you on the field. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It didn't matter who the hell you was, your background. If you can contribute to any of these teams, we'll find a way to get you in there. And at first, I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit. He's like, nah, man, this is what they're doing. And if you can recall, they won the city championship, the cities that year for basketball. That's some good players, some players I used to play with a lot, and that guys I know, that were getting through based on their skill. So I said, fuck it. Excuse my language. I said, I'm just gonna go for it. So I put in the transfer because at this time I had 5 points, you needed 105 to graduate, so I'm 18 with 5 points, due to not participating in high school, things of that nature. So I put in the transfer, and lo and behold, it came through. I put the transfer in around, I think February of that year, February of 99. February 2000, no, February 99, February 99, and it came through around June. So that's right around June is when the summer session starts for the team. So so everybody who was on varsity that prior year, they would start their practicing around at the end of the school year, which was in June. So once I went up, I was informed that there was these practices were taking place. I went up there with my transfer slip. Showed the coach at the time, his name was Tip Johnson. Shout out to Tip if he's still alive, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have played. You know what I mean? He basically gave me a little tryout right then on the spot. I showed and proved at multiple different positions that I'm worthy to be on the team. He told me, man, come back to the next tryout, and then from there he had me like each day for like 2 weeks straight. We just had personal practices, man. He was like, yeah, I got myself a player. And I just gave him my story. I let him know what was going on. He just told me to be upfront with him. I just told him what it was. I let him know that I had associates in the school that you know that I think that could come out and play for the team. I had associates that were in other schools at the time where we could get the transfer. And at that particular time, Corey just came up here, so I was like, I could get another guy. Well, Corey was already planning on coming here, but that was a part of the plan. So I got my cousin Jerome, my younger cousin Jerome, to transfer from Boston High. Demetrius, Matt's brother, he transferred from Linfield. And Bucky, coincidentally, no such thing as coincidence, but at the same time, Bucky transfers from Everett High. And then boom, man, we at this tryout, man. We got that's the shit. Yeah, that was the top best fucking team in the state. You know what I mean? Seriously. You know,
yeah,
seriously.
Guys was loaded.
Listen, bro. Did you? I'm pretty sure you watched him play before,
right? Yeah, I watched them play all of them one scrimmage at Madison.
Oh man, you had to be at the live games, bro, because these cats.
I did not get to see it.
Listen, these cats was on some Friday Night Lights, bro. Like for real, bro. Like when I tell you that football, like that was the only time in my 4 years that I went to Charlestown that I've seen the football field packed. Like the basketball team, mind you, these are champions. The basketball teams is out here winning championships. They out there cheering for the football team because these guys are putting up work. Like you said, Bucky, listen, Bucky, he was an animal. Like he was like a natural football player. JR was a natural football player. Corey was just a natural, like you had these cats naturally just putting in work, and you already know Romy, he's out of our group, like he was just like a grown fucking giant.
Been the size, yep.
Him at tight end, like it's ridiculous, man. It was ridiculous. Just watching them play, it was just amazing, man. And yeah, I could have been on the team, but you know, like I said, it was too cold for me. You know what I mean? I couldn't do it, man. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you Tony Lee played a couple of games.
Yeah, Tony, he was on the JV.
Yeah, Tony came up there a couple of games. Yeah, he played JV a couple of games. A couple of guys try to, didn't stick with it, man. But unfortunately, man, I got myself into some altercations at school, man, and was removed off the team, man. And I didn't get a chance to play in that Superbowl, and then get a chance to, play on my teammates, man, and really enjoy that victory, be a chance to be a part of that victory, rather. That was so pivotal, rather, probably. So for that whole generation, because that team, that 2001 team was the spark of a dynasty. You know what I'm saying? Was a spark of one of the greatest state dynasties of all time. So to be a part of that is I'm humbled. I'm blessed. You know what I'm saying? To also know that I was an architect. Of bringing certain players in and things of that nature. I'm also humbled and blessed. But just coming from my background and coming from how coming from the things that I went through, that's what I expected of myself. Nothing but the best. You know what I'm saying? So when my little brother comes in a couple of years later, and I'm giving them the tour with Tip and everything, and I'm lacing, I'm plugging them in, I'm making sure that he's all right, and letting them like, this is what it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the situation. That's how James laid it down for me at Westy. You know what I mean? I stepped into a similar situation at West Roxbury prior to me, going through my injuries or whatever. But so that's just what it is, man. So that team's a very special team. Shout out to Bart, shout out to Adam, shout out to my guy Victor knows. Shit. Yeah, man, hell yeah, Victor knows. Jeremiah, Dylan, you know what I'm saying? Shit, my guy Fats, my homie Fats, bro, that's my guy. Peace. Shit. Shit, Vin.
No, that's so good, man. I mean, that team was
already
loaded, man.
yeah, whatever. You already know.
We already know. Yep. So we're gonna pivot, man, because we covered a lot on your journey, man. We thank you, we're humble, and we just thank you for sharing all that with us, man. But we want to get into some hard hitting stuff right now. Obviously, NBA playoffs is popping right now. Yeah, I mean, so we want to get your take on what's going on in the NBA. I mean, you got the Lakers and Suns. I mean, AD just went down with an injury. I mean, the season series is tied 2-2. Chris Paul, OG's coming back. He said after the game 5 is going to be a dogfight. Who do you see winning this series, and how do you see this playing out for LeBron?
Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you.
I thought it's something. All right. Before I answer that, I hope everybody's tuning into Kwame Brown, man. He's spitting that shit, man. Listen to that brother Kwame Brown. He's going to win it. But all right, before that, anyway, in any event, I'm going with the Suns.
You going with the Suns?
I think Phoenix is going to pull this off. The injuries are decimating the Lakers. Paul's playing at the level. Paul's injured himself, but the level he's playing at right now, the intensity that he's bringing to the court, man, and those younger guys are just feeding off of him, man. So I just think that right now, just based off that last game, if that's going to be the template that Phoenix is going to use for the next couple of games, I think they got it, hands down.
I agree. I think I'm picking the Suns because these young boys. Chris Paul's got these young boys, playing. Like these guys are playing. Booker is playing at an all-time high. DeAndre Ayton is finally looking like a number 1 overall pick. And then you have like these other guys like Bridges. I forget the guy's name with the fro that comes off that played for North Carolina.
Cameron Johnson.
Yeah, Cameron Johnson knocking down shots.
Yeah.
Like you have a bunch of. I think their role players are better than the Lakers role players right now. And that's what's going to help them.
Absolutely.
Right. Because you have, your 2 superstars playing good, and then you have those role players. I don't think the role players of the Lakers are going to match up with the Suns, though. I mean, another series that, that just the Bucks and the Heats. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's pretty much self-explanatory. You know what I mean? That wasn't an even match. That wasn't an even match. In my estimation, that wasn't an even match. Excuse me. That Milwaukee's on a mission. On a mission.
Right.
They're on a mission. That's just, I don't want to even. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Milwaukee's on a mission. Middleton.
Listen, Middleton. This playoffs, he's grown on me. I mean, Middleton. These last couple of years, I was kind of like he hasn't shown up in the playoff. It's only been Giannis, but this year he's playing some big boy basketball, man, and he showed it in his last series. Sweeping the Heats, because I picked the Heats winning the series, but because I'm thinking that Middleton, but my man just showed up and showed out.
Max, if I could think, a lot of folks, I mean, I think now I've kind of like stepped back from criticizing a lot of these athletes because cats forget, like, just because someone's in their profession doesn't mean they're still on a trajectory of still getting better every season, even as professionals. So the fact that you say, I mean, and I agree, like a lot of times, like there are holes in a lot of these guys' games, but we're seeing a lot of these guys have gotten a lot better. Devin Booker,
right?
CP3, Donovan Mitchell, Ja Morant got better from last year. Jordan Clarkson, Julius Randle. There's like a plethora of guys who've gotten a lot better, and now they're getting the chance. Like, Derrick Rose. Like we knew Derrick Rose was great, but like how pivotal and like how strong and smart his game is for right now, because he was supposed to be an afterthought after these injuries, but he's showing improvement. Like, yo, at 31, I can still hoop, and it's so dope to see, man. It is so dope to see. So what do you? So last night and a few nights before, man. So like we saw the incident with Russ. I mean, the dude throwing popcorn on him. We saw the incident with Trey with the fans spitting on him. We saw the incident with John Morant where the guys, some guys were just heckling his parents. And last night, man, like the dude throwing the water bottle at Kyrie.
The water with Kyrie. Yeah.
What is going on with, what's your take on like how the NBA should protect its players, and why are fans right now just on 1,000 on tilt, like just going like they turn just on some real disrespectful, type shit.
It's multiple. That's a multi-layered answer. It's a sign of the times. The times we're in right now. There's a lot of tension in this country right now. A lot of people on edge, and there's a lot of people out here who's just really showing their true colors right now.
Right.
And unfortunately, there's not a protection system that's in place for these players. Like Russell went through this last year. Didn't he go through this last year or the year before? The year before, with Utah.
Like he's been going
last couple of years. Yeah.
The last couple of years.
Yeah. So these people should be treated, man, treated as criminals, because that's assault. Those are assault. That's assault. I know if we was at a hockey game, or at a tennis game, and we threw a water bottle at Roger Federer, I think some charges are going to be brought on us. You know what I mean? I don't think we're just going to be banned from Wimbledon. You know what I'm saying? I think we're going to be facing some time or a hefty fine or something of that nature. So without that protection being in place, that gives these people more incentives to continue to continue on with this behavior. So until these brother Tariq Nasheed was talking on his podcast last night, he was saying how brothers need to start. A lot of NBA players need to start speaking up on this issue and making this a real main issue, a main topic.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we won't step on the court unless this is addressed. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna eventually escalate, because brothers, they can't retaliate, because if they retaliate, then they look like the perpetrator. You know what I mean?
Another malice,
exactly.
Malice. They don't want that.
Exactly.
They don't want that.
That's why Rasul Theron says that's why he's a G. He took that. He just to set that tone. Like, listen, we're not doing none of that. You know what I mean? And from that, a lot of fans, that they wasn't with that type of life after that.
Yeah, him, Stack. You know what I mean? They went up in there,
Neil,
dropping cats. Jermaine,
putting cats down.
Yeah,
cats down. But me personally, I think just banning them from that one stadium doesn't help. If you're gonna ban them from all the NBA stadiums, put their pictures on something or whatever, like they do at Stop and Shop when you steal something. I mean, ban them from all these stadiums, bro, because because that same fan that threw the ball at Kyrie can show up in Brooklyn.
It's true, yeah.
He can show up in Brooklyn like, I'm here. What's up? You know what I mean? So if a fan gets out of hand or get out of pocket like that, ban them from all sporting events. Mm-hmm. All sporting events. Matter of fact, ban that person from if the Garden's hosting something there, that person can't enter. Whether it's a concert, whether it's Disney on Ice, something, you can't walk in there because you don't know how to conduct yourself as a human being, because these are human beings that you know what I mean? You can't go into one of these Fortune 500 companies or whatever, or one of these big boy companies and throw a bottle at somebody, like you just said, JR. That's an assault.
Right. I can't walk into Amazon and throw a water bottle at Jeff Bezos.
Come on, bro.
So why? So this is a pattern. This behavior is a pattern, and it's not being addressed. So this is why it's continually happening. Because it's like, okay, these people are being allowed to assault basketball players.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So
It's a good thing, and like it's a good point because we don't see it. Like we don't see it at well, they don't. Well, okay, I won't say we don't see it because I don't want to speak out of turn, but we're not seeing this portrayed on ESPN or any of the major networks where there are predominantly white athletes. So like we're not really seeing this on the tennis, on the hockey. You know what I mean, on the wrestling. Like we don't see cats throwing things at their at the athletes that they're paying to see. But for the black athletes, why is that? I mean, I think you are right. There is a lot of tension, and there is a lot of racism and prejudice going on in our sports, man, and it's pretty wild to see, man. But so that's a good pivot because I want to pick up on some NFL talk, man. So right now, with the whole Deshaun Watson thing, I mean, where is he going to end up, and why do you think all this is coming out after he's requested a trade?
Why? Why? He's a black quarterback. He's a black quarterback. You know what I mean? Aaron Rodgers, where the allegations, and mind you, I mean, I don't wish this upon nobody, but Aaron Rodgers is asking for a trade, right?
Everybody, he says he's not coming back.
Everybody is praising him like, oh, he's a great, quarterback. He's done this, he's done that, blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, and I get it. He put in that work. He deserves it. Deshaun Watson put in that same work, but now all these allegations, him with like, come on, man. Like, come on, man. Like, you don't do that. And I just want to just peel back. I want to bring a little bit of history into this. Because as a black man, the white man tries to portray you as a sex predator or whatever. They've been doing that from way back then. So what way to diminish a man's character by throwing that in his out there in the air? So now everybody's looking at it like, damn, 22 females? Like 22 females? Like this guy, he's sick, he's this, he's a beast, he's an animal. But it's like, come on, man. You don't do that. You don't disgrace a man's character like that. You don't tarnish his reputation like that, man. And it's crazy and it's unfortunate that he has to go through this, man.
Yeah, you made some valid points just there. It's extremely unfortunate, but we have to understand the system that we're living in. We're living in a system of racism, white supremacy. So once you understand that, everything else, if you don't understand that, if you don't understand how the system operates, you're running around kind of confused. Because when these type of things happen, you're going to be always dropping the why question, and hows and things of that nature. But not to get too off the subject, but just to answer it directly. First and foremost, these are allegations. These are all allegations. There's nothing been proved, from my knowledge, because I'm still doing research as the case progresses. Up to 10, 11 of them women have erased their face, all their social media. A couple of them have removed their name from the lawsuit. These are things that mainstream media hasn't brought to our attention yet. So as we speak, the case is kind of crumbling. Right. Bugsby, the attorney, the head prosecuting attorney, he lives 3 doors down, 3 doors away, 3 houses away from McNair, the owner. They live 3 doors. So they're
So they going golfing together.
Three doors. Yeah, 3 houses away from the same street, same neighborhood, Houston. They live right there, and wow. All of a sudden, this is the attorney who brings up all these allegations. It's Brett Favre. But Brett Favre was abusing the pills and things of that nature and protecting Mark Shimura, who was raping the little young girl after they won the Super Bowl, before he ended up getting caught up and getting sentenced. We didn't really hear too much about that. That's the situation got swept under the rug. Ben Roethlisberger telling the young lady, "Where you going?" Trapping her in the room. "Where you going? You ain't going nowhere." Things of that nature, and that getting him missing a couple of games, that getting swept under the rug. So and that never to be brought up again. They don't never speak of those actions. So for them to, without question. For them to go, for the media to be so, and it's not the way it's not how they explain it. They explain it with so much vitriol and disdain. Like, it's like, you can feel the vitriol through the TV, man, when you hear them talk about this case. But like I said, the case is crumbling. I end up thinking he's going to, get his name cleared. Houston's been in the process of trying to ruin that man's career since he's been drafted there. Like I've been telling my little brother, like I've been telling David for the last couple of years with the coaching situation and getting rid of all the great talent and just all the moves that they made and still being up 24-0 on Mahomes. You know what I mean? Right? Despite all that was done, to still be up 24-0 and the coach putting you in the position to lose again because of his fucking decision making, his idiotic decision making, whatever though. But
yeah, O'Brien was the worst. He's probably been the worst coach ever.
Is he working somewhere now?
Bro. So
nah, he's out the league. I think he's out the league.
Yeah,
he's in Alabama. Nick Saban brought him back to Alabama. He's on the coaching staff for Alabama.
Rejuvenating his career.
Yeah, that's what they all do. That's what they always do. They bring him back to Alley. Bring him back to Alley. Yeah, you know what they do. Get him back right. Let make him look good. Go get him a job somewhere else.
Wow.
Yeah, Rob. So like I said, despite all that, he still was up 24-0 on supposedly the greatest player in the league right now. But in a dysfunctional organization. But besides that, why I see that all these teams that made these sudden moves during the draft and right prior to the draft, there's really not too many openings, left for the young man when he's cleared. Unless a Washington, I could see a Washington probably taking a swing at him. If Detroit's not too satisfied with golf, Carolina, I don't know. I'm baffled as why they feel Darnold is going to be their future. These people are just, these people are sometimes they just live in fantasy, man. They don't understand that this is a real life. We're living in reality. You can't, have these fantasies of these things taking place, and that's not realistic. Him being a top tier quarterback in this league is not realistic.
Right.
I don't know what anybody say. So he needs at least somebody to give him some competition. So that Carolina's a possibility. Denver's a possibility.
Oakland. I mean, Las
Oakland,
Vegas.
Right, yeah,
Las Vegas.
Oakland,
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, party. So Las Vegas, correct? Because I don't think Gruden sold on Carr.
He's done with Carr.
Yeah, I don't think he sold on Carr. I don't think he sold on Carr at all.
So my question,
trade for A-Rod, but I mean, we'll see what happens.
My question for the both of you guys. All right, let's say that Houston don't let him go. Do you sit out?
Absolutely.
The moves that Houston made in the language, because if you got to pay attention to the language now, because a lot of the answers is in the language, because they'll tell you something without saying it. You know what I mean? The language that they're using now is like a past tense language, as if they already moved on from him. And then if you look at the acquisitions that they made, bringing in Tyrod to hold the ship over, and drafting the Davis Miller's kid out of Stanford. Who I think he has some promise. I haven't seen him play as much, but I remember watching him coming out of high school. He definitely was a 5-star recruit. Definitely had a great arm. Can read the field. You know what I'm saying? A decent prospect, but beyond decent, above average prospect. So I think they probably got something with him, and they brought in somebody else, another veteran. So their quarterback room is pretty loaded right now, as if they're ready to move on from Deshaun.
Yeah,
and
I think he's done with them. He's done with them too. He's not suiting them.
Oh yeah, he been cleared. We been knew that he was ready to go. This is why these allegations popped up in the manner that they did, because they didn't want him they didn't want him to put his own self in a position, because remember he controlled his own destiny, because he
He
had the no trade clause. So exactly, so he controlled, because he could have went to San Francisco or one of those or Chicago, one of those teams that was a quarterback away from going to the Super Bowl. So but if you listen to the media, they was always trying to promote him going to Miami or the Jets or something of that nature. But when Rodgers want to get traded, they want to send him to the Broncos, to, you know what I mean, to a team that's just loaded and only needs a quarterback to propel that team to the next level. So I found that interesting too, if people didn't catch on to that.
Facts. Where do you think Julio's gonna go? Because I know Julio's the one he wants out.
Oh, this is.
Is he going to a contender? Is he going to Seattle, or is he going to be paired up?
Seattle doesn't make any sense.
Pittsburgh. Where's he going?
Yeah, Seattle doesn't make any sense because he's basically him and at this particular point.
Him and DK.
Metcalf's a little bit more explosive, but that's the same type of receiver.
Right.
So I think by his addition, they would have subtract, their numbers would subtract, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I think Julio would take away from how they're progressing with DK. You understand? If you because I think that the two guys that they just brought in this year, Eskridge, who blew up the Senior Bowl out of Western Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
They got him in the second round, and the kid, they got an undrafted kid, Tamarin Terry out of Florida State. I don't know how the hell this kid went undrafted. He's in that DK mode. 6'3", 215, runs a 4.4. Takes the top off the defense. He can work on the rest of his route running, but he's in that DK mode. And then what's that? That's going to hinder, because they already be on strapped for cash for their salary cap situation. I think they need to add a couple more defensive pieces, which I don't think they'll be able to do if they bring Julio on. So that's why I don't think that'll be a wise decision. Right. Where I think he should go is Baltimore. That's the best situation for everybody. That's a win-win. If you look at Baltimore's history, when they went out and got Steve Smith later on in his career and manufactured that into some Pro Bowls and a couple of AFC Championship games, they went out and got Anquan Bolden later on in his career, manufactured that into a Super Bowl.
Right?
Yeah, they turned that into a Super Bowl, right? So this is in there. This is right in their lane. And like Marcus Spears been saying on NFL Live, if Ozzie Newsome would still be the general manager, Julio would have been traded last week. He would have been him and Lamar would have been working out last week.
Right.
But this makes the most sense, because where Julio's at his stage in his career, he's not really trying to be the do-it-all receiver. And by going to Baltimore, facing these 8-man fronts and having that single, having that single coverage on the outside, more than likely on the second best cover guy, because they're going to put their best guy 9 times out of 10 on Hollywood or on Watkins or on Bateman. You know what I mean? So depending on how they roll the coverage, so. That man, shit. That once single coverage, Julio, Lamar. What are we talking about?
That's video game numbers.
I think that would be good. I think the sleeper. I'm wondering. I think for a lot of reasons, but pairing him with AJ Brown or pairing him with Michael Pittman up in Indy. I mean, I think there are still a lot of places, but I think the salary cap is an issue, because he's a top tier, paid wide receiver. So right. It's not an easy thing for a lot of these teams. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bill pulls the trigger. I mean, Bill might bring him up here.
Well, yeah, no, that was my second. That's why I was going second. See, when you went with Indianapolis and Tennessee, I'm looking at teams that can what is this accusation? Would this put this team in the driver's seat to make it to the Super Bowl? if Baltimore or the New England Patriots, and this is very important what I'm saying, because like I was finishing with Baltimore. Lamar hasn't had these 3 years. He hasn't had that top tier All Pro type of receiver.
Right.
And bringing that because he gets all this criticism of how he can't throw the ball, but yet he led the league in touchdown passes and all this play. This is dumb shit that these analysts just bring up constantly to try to denigrate his play. By acquiring this All Pro receiver, it'll just make the play calling more smoothly, things of that nature. Same thing with King. I watched this young man play this whole career everywhere. I watched him play at Auburn everywhere. He's never had a top tier receiver his whole career. The two part of his first 2 seasons in Carolina.
Yes,
he had Smith. When he broke all the rookie records for passing yards and passing to everything, he broke all the rookie records. Luck came in the next year and broke them, but he had like 200 more passing attempts or some crazy shit like that. So whatever, but he's never had his MVP year throwing the ball to Devin Funches and Coffee Brown and Jericho Cartery.
Not the
Cox. I love those guys. I love those guys. Coffee Brown was my guy in Ohio State. Devin was Devin. I think he's related to Wati. I think that's Wax's. Wati is I think that's Wati's people because he's his Funches, and that's that's a big family. Whatever. Yeah. So whatever. He's never had the luxury of throwing the ball to a top tier talent that would boost up his completion percentage, right? Because Julio can catch those 50-50 balls, and his pure skill set of just beating the corner, getting wide open, making the pass more easier, things of that nature. Cam never had that ever in his career. So to bring that on top of what they already brought in from the prior acquisitions with Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry, if he can get back to his Pro Bowl ways, and Aguilar, who I always felt was an underrated receiver, but it can do big things in big moments, just giving the ball. Shit, you bring Julio with that running game and the RPO, man. Listen, and McDaniels with that, how his Frankenstein mind, shit.
Yeah,
Kim can get back.
It's ill, but I think the talk right now, the talk right now is with them taking Mac at the 15th pick. What's the competition like? I want to know what Bill is thinking in terms of how this is going to play out. Yeah, let's get into it.
I think him drafting Matt, he needs a bridge quarterback, and that's why he drafted Matt. Yeah, I think Cam has probably a year or 2 left in him, and I feel like when with those year 2, you bring in a Julio, that's 2 rings. That's 2 rings. And then once he bridges out, then you bring in Matt, and then you do. That's the same thing he wanted to do with Garoppolo. You know what I mean? That's the same thing he wanted to do with Garoppolo. But you know what I mean? Tommy was like, I'm not giving up the seat, bro. You might have to trade that guy. You might have to trade that guy.
What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I hear you. I'm gonna have to veer the opposite way. I look at the Aaron Rodgers situation. They draft Jordan Love, right? He comes out, leads them to NFC Championship, MVP season. Now they're talking about, whatever you want, whatever you need, they're at his knees right now. So, or to his mercy right now. So if Cam, like I said, going to my original point, gets put in that position where he's going to be able to throw the ball for the first time in his career or second time in his career to an all-pro receiver who can just change the game for him and change the game for the whole team, you start to look at Cam differently now, because now you're looking at him in a situation where it's like, okay, I could see this man at the age of 32 doing this for 4 or 5 more years as he starts to master, really, take into account and learn different steps on how to master the art of quarterbacking from reading defenses and working on his footwork and trying to the motion, his motion. I have no problem with the motion. Just try to figure out the way where you could put some more air on it, so because I think his inability to throw the touch passes, I think that hinders him in a way. But when you dominate your whole life and nobody's pulling you to the side to show you these things, you know what I'm saying? Because everybody's just using you for your physical prowess and things of that nature, and you didn't get a chance to work on the little things, But being with Belichick, and we all know Belichick's a great mind. You know what I mean? I don't see Cam just as a bridge quarterback. I think if Cam leads this team to the Super Bowl, which I think they can do, especially if they trade for Julio, I think he gets an extension. And not only that, I think Matt goes on the trading block.
Ooh.
You understand? Yeah, because he only gets drafted, in my opinion, because Nick Saban and Belichick, they're good friends.
Right.
You know what I mean? My opinion, if Dallas doesn't draft Parsons, Belichick trades up to draft Parsons. Parsons is a Patriot. If you watch Belichick draft through his whole tenure, that the type of linebacker Michael Parsons is, that's Belichick's. That's his dream player. You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying
that's my opinion.
So you're saying if the Patriots get Julio, they're beating Kansas City in the AFC Championship.
Without question. Without question. Have
we not seen Patty Maher? Have we not seen Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce and Andy Reid's
offensive run for his life?
Offensive, but he has the best line now. He has the best line in the NFL right now.
No, that's not the best line.
Outside of Indiana, outside Indianapolis, he has the best line.
On paper.
But you're telling me
see him on Sundays.
You're telling me
we got to see him on Sundays.
Outside of Gilmore, because Bill did retool this defense, but you got to put up points. And what we've seen, and I get it, and in Cam's career, you're going to have to put up 30 points at least. That's minimum. Without even you have to put up 30 to win against them. And that's tough. That's a tough task. That's a tough task to ask because Bill's team usually don't put up 30.
We got the tight. Listen, if you get Julio and you got the receiving core that's pretty good, and now we got the tight end, so now we got the middle. So I don't know, man. It may be scary hour. So if Julio goes to the Pats with that offensive mind, oh man, it's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary.
It'll be dope, man. I want to see it. But the thing is that the best pickup for me was Aguilar. I was happy as hell that
I agree.
I was happy as hell that he got out of Las Vegas. Because he's top tier. He's a top tier guy.
Listen, he's gonna put up numbers, and with Bill in that mindset, he's gonna utilize him as in different position. Like he's gonna play with him. It's gonna be scary. It's gonna be scary the way he's gonna utilize Aguilar in that offensive scheme that he's gonna dish out this. I'm telling you, listen, Pat's gonna be dangerous, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be dangerous for sure. Oh no. All right, man. So want to get your take on Brady's 43, just won his 7th ring. Patty Maher is already the talk of the league last couple of years. He's the next generation of the league. What are you? Can you see a rematch this year in the Super Bowl for them?
It's possible. I think the AFC is going to be a little bit more tough for Kansas City. You can't argue that Tampa Bay can make another run as far as just defensively, how they play defensively. It's going to be hard to put points on them guys, regardless of what the team, who you are.
Right. And they brought everybody back too.
This is what I'm saying, right? And they made some more additions via the draft. So I look at their success coming more via the defense rather than Brady being the face, because he threw 3 interceptions in the second half of that NFC Championship game, and that defense still carried them to the victory. So I think that's a defensive-led team. I want to see what the Chicago looks like. I think that defense can create some havoc for Brady. And if Fields is brought up to par at that time, up to par at that particular time, it can create some type of offensive, some type of points, via passing or through moving his legs. I think Chicago is a team that can give Tampa Bay some
run.
Yeah, definitely.
Because now that because New Orleans is Jameis's town now. Now that Breeze is out, we got Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas. We'll see if they're able to either take a step forward or take a step back. But also is Trey Lance going to uplift the 49ers to that level as well? Because we know Kyle Shanahan is a great playmaker. Play caller. But we'll see. IP. We got a lot covered, man. Unfortunately, we lost him. But it was an incredible journey that he got to share. Just to come from where we come from, man. It's just amazing to see, how sports has impacted us all, man. Especially coming from the Lenox Street area, man. But just in terms of inspirational people, what you want to leave the people with today?
I want to leave the people with words can inspire you, thoughts may provoke, but only actions truly bring you closer to your dreams. So just go out there and act on your and put actions into. If you're gonna put some words, put actions behind it. And make sure that in order for you to get closer to your dream, you just have to every single day just chip away, and put actions into play.
Facts, all facts, man. And that's really dope. I really like that, man. I think for me, man, I just want folks to. I think everyone's going. I think for outside's opening back up, and everyone's ready to get life, or try to return back to a turn lifestyle. Have fun and all that, which is great. And I want everyone to have a good time and really live their lives, man. But just be careful, man. Rushing back out there. You have to be prepared for that mentally, physically, financially, and really just take into account, all the things that all the things that you want to do versus all the things that you have to take care of, man. So take care of your responsibilities first. Be safe when you go out there, but also just don't be in a rush, man. Like your mental health. Take care of your mental health first, man. If you don't want to rush and being back around crowds, all the people, noise, traffic, and all that, you don't have to. So don't feel obligated to do so, man. But I really appreciate everyone locking in. P, what you got for the what the fuck moment of the week?
My what the fuck moment of the week, man. We kind of touched upon it briefly. Fans, just be fans. You know what I'm saying? Just be fans. You can go out there, you can heckle, you can talk your shit within the realms of sports. Right. You don't have to spit. You don't have to throw no bottles, no nothing. Just be a fan. You're not a fan if you're throwing stuff at a player. You're assaulting. You're an assaulter.
You're a criminal. You're a criminal.
You know what I mean? That's not a part of sports, man. Just keep it within the realms of sports. You know what I mean? If you want to be a fan, talk shit about his on the field play, on the court play, leave his family, leave his mother out. You know what I mean? Just talk about his play on the field or on the court. Just be fans, man. But that was my what the fuck moment. Just watching these, like you just said, we're just opening back up. Some cities are open. We just opened up here, and we're just seeing people, spit on cats, throw bottles and popcorns. Come on, bro. Just be fans, man. That's it, man.
It's just a game.
Huh? It's just a game. bro, it's just a game, bro.
It's a 2-hour game. You know what I mean? Like, real talk, like, I want to go to a lot of people's jobs now and pull up with some while Cats is at the fax machine, while you're at the copier, while you're in your meetings. I want to spit at you. While you're giving your presentations, and all that.
Right, and just walk away. Your presentation was whack, and just walk away.
And your kid's ugly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just crazy, man. But that's my what the fuck moment of the week, man.
No, it's all.
Sir.
Yeah.
All right, JR, man. So at the end of all episodes, man, I mean, we covered a lot, man. We shared your journey. We got your take on a lot of things. But what we really want to do, and that's really pivotal for this podcast and for just the next generation of athletes, you know, in Boston and just all across the state and all across the country, man. As a former athlete and as a fan of, you know, all sports, what is something inspirational, motivational that you want to leave with younger athletes today?
Playing wisely, you know, playing ahead, playing wisely. You know, be prepared at all times. Preparation is a must. You know, preparation prevents poor performance. You know what I mean? Simple like that. And also be mindful. Be mindful to the situations that you put yourself in, that you don't think that can hinder your future later on and things of that nature. Just be mindful who you hang around with, you know. And like I said, just to stay on top of your game at all times, regardless of what it is, what sport you participate in. Stay on top of your game. Preparation prevents poor performance.
That's fact. That's definitely facts, and that's something that, you know, a lot of the athletes that have been on this podcast have also echoed as well. I mean, just being prepared, just always being, I mean, a gym rat, you know, eating right. I mean, you know, just preparing your day, understanding who to hang around, who to be around, because you well, I think what we've learned, and I think what we all attest to, and like I think a lot of the professional athletes can attest to too, is like you can't bring everybody with you.
Right.
Nope.
I mean, there's certain spaces that are for you, and there's certain spaces that are for other people. And like, you know, I know everyone has their own spiritual journey, but I mean, your God has a specific journey and path for you, and that's what you got to be on. So I think you're exactly right, JR, when you say that, you know, plan wisely and understand who's around you, and stay on top of your game, man, because it's crucial, because somebody else is trying to take your spot.
That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Because like I said, I'm quite sure it's going to be different. You have different guests on here is going to give their dissertation how they see it, but I'm just going to give it to you plain and simple as that. If this is what you want to do, what you like, you want to be a professional athlete. You know, those are that's how you want to. That's the law you want to abide by.
Yo, we salute you. We thank you. Your journey matters. It's been an inspiration for not only myself, for a lot of young guys in the neighborhood. You know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 5 years ago, a year ago, even today. You know, we thank you for your wisdom. You know what I mean? Your joy that you've taken, you know, playing with us at Cardiff, at Derby, whatever. Just you know, always one thing that I've always appreciated with you being my brother, man, was the athletic competition. Competition was key. It was a minimum. We were breaking hangers on our door. Like, we were breaking our doors, bro. Like, it was mind-boggling. Like, we would go to the court and damn near fight. Like, it was like the level of competition. Like, when
viewers, for if you guys have never been to Derby or Carter's and watching a JR and David Braid basketball game, like, I damn near had to step in and like, yo, y'all playing, y'all have to relax. Y'all have to relax. Y'all have to relax, because JR is not gonna back down. Dave is not gonna back down. The level of competition is crazy, and listen, it gets almost to blows. And my question,
and we've seen it, and not only with me, I've seen him do this with everyone. Like it wasn't, it was just everybody. Like his level of competition is something that I've never seen before, and it's amazing. And that type of level of competition brings out the best in you, whether you are comfortable with it or you're not. It's just you got to respect it. I mean, a lot of times you walk away from the court pissed off. I mean, you walk away from the court pissed off. But hey, I mean, it prepares you for the next game or the next competitor, like whatever you did, man. And I salute you. We thank you, man. We thank you for coming on the podcast. I mean, we thank you for showing love. And if there's anyone else that you want to, invite on here that you think will be a great, journey to share for the masses, please let us know, and we'll definitely connect with them.
Oh yeah, the last day, Jamal Burke. I forgot him. Jamal and Tory Burke. Jamal Burke, cousin Jamal Burke, man. He's definitely influential. You know what I'm saying? He actually has a documentary coming out. Stay tuned to that. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know because I have a little scene in there. You got a scene when he comes here and he's breaking down his history. But Jamal Burke's definitely somebody you want to get on here and interview. Yeah, like Jamal, he actually went there. He took it all the way. And my brother, shout out to my brother Keith Patterson, Tremont Street. Grew up with that brother, man. He took his talent to Florida State, played with Von Wafer. Did some good, could have went overseas. I think he went overseas and did some good things for the neighborhood, man. Good brother. Shout out to two brothers. If I get his information, I'll definitely try to send that to you. That's a brother you want to interview because he's a good brother, good dude. Shout out Larry Bowens, my brother Larry Bowens. You know what I'm saying? Can't forget my brother. Yeah, it's all good right there. Yeah, it's all good.
All good. Ladies and gentlemen, go subscribe to our Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast IG page, on Facebook, Talk Your Ish Sports Podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can find us. We got a lot of great content, a lot of great athletes, which is some amazing journeys that you really need to tap into. Share with your mother, your uncles, a lot of the young athletes in your families. Really get this content to them, man, because it's very important, man. So we salute you. We thank you. And it's up. We're going to see y'all next week.